Hi guys, so today I'm gonna do 26 books in 2026. These are only books on my physical TBR. So I'm not doing new releases, I'm not doing series that I want to read. That's another video. So these are just standalone books, or I mean, they could be part of interconnected standalone, but whatever. These are mostly not from series. All kinds of different genres. I have some, fantasy, nonfiction, classic, classic books, lit fic, all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna try to divide them in like chunks of, by genre, just so that it's more cohesive, and even for me to, just classify all of them, it'll be easier. And I'm actually, okay, I'll start with my first category, which is like classics and lit fic. So, you know what, in no particular order. So I have like tons of them here. So first, I'm gonna do like some of the classics that I have here. Some of these, just a couple of these, I have read a long time ago when I was younger and I don't remember anything. So I want to reread them with a new lens. You're an adult now, you can have a different perspective on certain things. So one of the books that I absolutely want to read this year is Wuthering Heights. I would love to read this in February and then go watch the movie. I know the movie is not a direct adaptation of this. From what I've heard, it's like a different vibe, but I still want to have like context behind the story and whatnot. So I definitely want to read this in February. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I almost forgot which Bronte sister wrote this. That's how long I haven't read this. Anyways, this absolutely must read in 2026. Next one, which again, I want to read the movie adaptation, the one with Florence Pugh and Timothée Chalamet. I want to read Little Women and then watch the movie. This one, it looks really cute, but it's not the kids version. I think from what I understand, there's a kids version of this book and then like a more fleshed out regular version. So yeah, like Little Women, also really want to read this. I don't know when I'm going to read it. Like, I know that I've heard people say it's a good book to read in the fall. We'll see. But needless to say, I want to read this and then watch the movie. I'm going to continue the book and movie adaptation kind of series that I started last year. And I should actually like probably make like a little vlog out of it or something. That would be fun. Then I have... Okay, on my list was a book by a Russian author, so classic, obviously. So it was either a Leo Tolstoy book or another Dostoevsky book. I've only read, what is it, The Stranger? It was called, I think, no, Notes from the Underground by Dostoevsky. And I have Crime and Punishment, or I have what I'm really into, again, that I could watch the movie after, Anna Karenina. This has a pretty good adaptation from what I can understand. It is a pretty long book. I just realized how small the font is in this edition. Oh my god, the font is so small. I might have to like, I'm sure I can get it on an ebook from my library to read it on my Kindle because the font is actually tiny. But the edition is beautiful. So anyways, this is the Signature Classics. Yes, Signature Editions. I really want to read a book by either Tolstoy or Dostoevsky, but I think this is going to be it. I was in the store like between like this or War and Peace, and I was like, I think I'm gonna stick with this one, especially that it's a cool like adaptation in it. I think there's like Keira Knightley and Aaron Taylor Johnson in that movie, so that has to be good, right? Then I have a book that I picked up not too long ago, The Dubliners by James Joyce. This is a very, very short classic read. I actually had seen like quite a few people recommend it, and then I came across a video of Jack Edwards interviewing Cillian Murphy, and I forget who the other actor is, and he's like, if you read one book, read this. Like, everyone has to read this. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna read it and, make my Irish ancestors proud. Read some Irish literature. Then we go into more of like literary fiction. So, maybe if I turn it this way, it'll look nicer. Ta-da! I didn't bring down all of them because, Lord, if I had to take down all my books for this video, oh my God. First of all, A Little Life. I've had this book on my TBR for a very long time. The other one, the American edition or North American, is very floppy and the pages are like Bible thin. Like they're so thin that you can see through the page to the other page and you can like see the words. So anyways, I got this because it is more stiff, but the pages are very, you know, you don't see through. So I have A Little Life. I really want to read this. It's been on my TBR for a very long time. And that's all I have to say about it. I'm happy I have both editions. I absolutely love the spine of this one. And also, if I would want to read it in public, I think I'd rather read this one than the other edition has like the crying guy on it. And I'm like, I can't imagine like reading that in the train and like someone being like, what the heck is she reading? Or maybe that's what I'm gonna look like when I finish the book. I don't know, but apparently like this is like a super sad book. I've never cried at a book so far. So I've had like I've been teary-eyed at like 2 books. 2? Maybe 3. But it's very rare. Like even movies, it's very hard for me to cry at fiction, like fictional media. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I'm sure I'm gonna love it. Like from what I've heard, like it's a story that, you know, even if you're not enjoying, like you don't agree with the characters or whatever, I don't think that's what it's for. It's just meant for you to follow them and what they go through and maybe gain like some new perspective or whatever. Okay, on to the next. This actually saw another one of Jack Edwards' videos where he's interviewing Paul Mescal, which, oh, you know what? Okay, I don't know where it is, but I could do like a 2-in-1. Paul Mescal was being interviewed because he's in the new Hamnet movie. So that's actually on my list. Yes, I have it right here. Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. That's also just literary fiction. But then, yeah, in that interview, he said everyone should read Sally Rooney's Intermezzo. I have not yet read a full Sally Rooney book. Why I say that is because I tried to read Normal People like 6 years ago, and that did not go well because I just, yeah, it didn't go well. I don't think it was for me. I wasn't into that genre at all back then. Like I was just picking up recommendations here and there, and I think that's why I didn't really like it. But I'm definitely gonna give this a try. I've only heard good things once again. So even people who don't enjoy Sally Rooney's usual work really enjoyed this one. So I will see about this, and I love the cover so much. So that is on my list. Then I have I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, which I realized that after buying this, that this was translated from French. If I would have known, I would have read it in French. Because if that's the original language, I'd rather read it in the original language. Because I can read French. But anyways, this edition is absolutely beautiful. Like even the inside, look at the inside. This is like the most like aesthetically pleasing copy ever. Anyways, also very short. I think it's like less than 200 pages. Oh my God, you know when you try to look at the page number without seeing a spoiler? 164. Okay, less than 200 pages, 164 pages. This is very interesting. It's like a post-apocalyptic type of literary fiction. It's like, I don't know, a planet where there's only women or something like that. So anyways, I've also only heard good things. So this is very high up on my TBR. I might, like, we're December 16th when I'm filming this. I might read this in December if I have time, but if not, it's gonna be probably a January read. And then, oh my God, that almost went flying. Okay. Then I think this is the last one in my like literary fiction type of, or just general fiction section. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I've been wanting to read this for a long time. Oh my God, I keep saying this same sentence every time. Of course, I've been wanting to read them for a long time. They've all been on my TBR for a long time. So I have this one. And I also have The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, both of these, really want to read them. I've been wanting to replay Call of Duty, the World War II. I love that game. So maybe I'll read this and then play the COD again. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. But this is a story. You follow like two sisters during World War II in Paris. And that's all I know, actually. I have not read the synopsis. I just know like what it's about, like very briefly, because sometimes synopses, they just actually show too much. But there's lots of nice blurbs. That's what I do now. I look at the blurbs instead of the synopsis. But anyways, it's also it's very thick, the book itself, but like when you look inside, the margins are very wide, and like it's fine. Like it's not as long as it looks. So anyways, definitely going to read this. I think they're gonna make it a movie. Oh yeah, it says soon to be a major motion picture. I think like the Fanning sisters are supposed to be playing in this, for like the sisters in this book. So that would be cool if ever it comes out in 2026 and I could like read this and then watch the movie. That would be cool. I also last year read All the Light We Cannot See, and I watched the show as well, the mini series on Netflix. That was so good, and that's what really got me into the World War II stuff. Actually, no, like Call of Duty is what got me into that era. I love that era, like just learning about everything that happened. And when I see works of like historical fiction that happened in that time, I do really enjoy that. I also really enjoyed what is it called? The Enchanted Letters duology by Rebecca Ross, which is you know, like a bit of a magical type of book, so it's not fully like happening in this world, but it gives the vibes of like World War II, and there's people, you know, like with the high stakes and everything, and I do like that setting for a book. The stakes are so high. So again, can't wait to read this. I have to stop saying that. I have some nonfiction books. First is Stephen Bartlett's book. So The Diary of a CEO, if that rings a bell. That's the title of his podcast. It's one of my favorite podcasts. I love to listen to it. If you don't listen to his podcast and you consume some of this type of content, like just like business stuff, entrepreneur stuff, or even just general like self-improvement content or whatnot, you might have seen his clips on TikTok or on Reels. But anyways, I didn't know that he had a book. Now I do. So I want to read this, and yeah, that's it. I just want to support and read because I really love his podcast. Then I have two memoirs. The first one is Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz. This I actually have the audiobook on hold at the library. I really want to do audiobook because she's the one who narrates it. Of course, it's her own story. If you don't know who she is, she was in The OC and One Tree Hill. I always mix up the titles. She was in One Tree Hill, and she was also part of a cult. So anything has to do with a cult, I'm reading it. I love like learning about these things and how people get into it and how they get out, most importantly. So I am waiting for the audiobook to come out. I can't wait to hear her story. I've heard like some clips of her talking about it, but then I don't like listen to the whole podcast because I want to read the book. And then this, I cannot wait to read this. Oh my God, I had pre-ordered it. This is Al Pacino's memoir. It's called Sonny Boy. And yeah, no explanation needed. Like, I'm a huge fan of Al Pacino, huge fan of Scarface and The Godfather, a lot of his other movies as well, but those are my two favorite. And like, there's something about an actor that good that makes you like, if I see him in an interview or something, I don't see Tony Montana or Michael Corleone. Like, they're all different people in my head, which just shows how good of an actor he is. Like, he is so talented, and the stories this man must have, you know. Like, I definitely want to learn more about him. He's probably is my favorite actor of all time. I don't know, like with like Leo and like there's so many good ones though. Like even like Robert De Niro. Maybe Robert De Niro will be like number one. But anyways, like he's definitely up there, especially with the characters that in the movies he's played in. I love so much. So anyways, I can't wait to read this because yeah, I do like reading memoirs once in a while. Last but not least, I have a few like romance books and thrillers. So I'm just gonna get into those. I don't have many romance books on this list because some of them are probably just new releases from 2026 or part of series that I mentioned in my series video. So I don't have that many like on my physical TBR that I'm like, I have to read this, you know, right now, as much as the other books I've mentioned. So first I'll start with S.A. Cosby, Razorblade Tears. I'm actually in the middle of All the Sinners Bleed by him. So I've heard only good things about both of those books, and so far it's going great. So I can't wait to get into this. This is just like a thriller. I think this is the one, yeah, it's like the fathers of two inmates who were, I think they're gay or something, and then this is like in the South, so it's like really frowned upon, and they die, and then their fathers, you know, kind of team up to get like revenge or something like that. So anyways, that's on the list, definitely. Then I have a romance book by L.J. Shen, Truly, Madly, Deeply. This is just a standalone book. I don't know if it's part of any like interconnected series of theirs. But yeah, this is like, there's like a chef. I think there's a bit of an age gap. Anyways, this I had picked up because I had read like the back of it and it looked super fun. This is one of those books that like sometimes I just go browse at the bookstore and I'm like, hey, this looks fun, without looking at any reviews. Normalize not looking at reviews before you buy stuff. Honestly, sometimes reviews will like skew your you know, decisions, and it might have been a book you would have really enjoyed. So then I have Leave Me Behind by K.M. Moranova. This is like, someone told me, because they know I like Call of Duty, someone told me that this is like a dark romance Call of Duty. So I was like, hell yeah, let's go. This is the indie edition. I know there's new covers and there's also new books out with this. I think it's interconnected standalones. See, it says it, a dark military romance. Who knew that was a thing? Not me, not until my friend told me. So can't wait to read that. That's all I know about it. No idea what happens in that book. Then the last one I have on my list, which again, like a few videos ago I mentioned, like, anyways, either in my series or one of my reviews, I started reading a bit of this. Like, I think I'm 20% through and I stopped reading it, not because I didn't like it, just because I was like not in the mood. But I did like it so far. This is a dark academia fantasy. I think it's dark fantasy, dark academia, dark fantasy, whatever. And that's all I know about it. I think it's like a teacher with like this student that gets like she gets a scholarship to this specific, it's called Dracadia, I think Dracadia University, and they're investigating some virus with like worms. I forget. I think there's like worms and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, definitely want to finish this. This is something I would maybe read in the summer or like in anticipation of like spooky season. Yeah, that's it. Carrie Lake, big fan of Carrie Lake. I found out this year that I have been confusing Karina Halley with Carrie Lake, because they were both indie authors and like some of their covers look so similar, and I mixed them up. Not a fan of Karina Halley very much, but Carrie Lake, very much a fan. So yeah, so that's it for my 26 books in 2026 from my physical TBR. No, there's no releases in here. I'll probably do at the beginning of the year, like the anticipated releases for the first half of the year, and then another one like in June. But this is really just all on my physical TBR. I just want to, you know, clear that, get that down to like max 2 shelves Or I actually have one of those TBR carts, but I'm using it currently to store some of my craft supplies because I need new storage for that situation. So maybe once I get that situation sorted, either that'll be my physical TBR capacity or 2 shelves from here. Because right now my physical TBR is 1.5 of these bookshelves. So I have like 1.5 rows. That's all physical TBR, which for me is a lot. Like I know some people, they're like, I have 600 books on my physical TBR. That to me is insane. I could not fathom having that many books on my TBR. Like just what I have now is, to me, it's giving me anxiety. Like I don't like having that many unread books. I unhaul a lot of books. Like there's a lot of books that I have read that I unhaul. If I don't like it, I unhaul it. Like there's so many books I've read that I unhaul. I don't believe in keeping everything just because I read it. If I don't like it, I'm not going to keep it. And also, I'm actually just going to do more in my 2026 reading goals video, but that's basically it. I'm just gonna, read these. Hopefully I get all of them done. I actually should rewatch this video at the end of the year to see if I did read all of those 26 books. Maybe I'll do that. But anyways, thank you for watching my video, and let me know if you have any books in common with me that you really want to read in 2026. This is the sign for me to stop filming.